guys, we got a question for you. Is it a good idea to buy a second print? Zach?
Find out soon.
Welcome back, Gainers, to another incredible, exciting, fantastic episode of
ComicGains!
If you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess Rojas, looking very lovely today, just like usual. Do that princess wave, because she's doing it too. Bow down, respect, and there's Coco.
There is Coco. There she is. Coco. All right, guys, we have a special Saturday show for you, and we got a little how-to, maybe not to do kind of thing. So this show is going to be all about your favorite thing, second prints. Or maybe not your favorite thing, depending on who you are. Second prints aren't really your favorite thing, are they, Zach?
Not so much.
Princess likes second prints. She digs those second prints. So, we got a really cool show for you. We're going to explain some second prints, some good indicators when you're looking out, some maybe some books you should be looking out for. Keeping two eyes open at some of these books, because some of them are hot. Some of them are some good books to be looking out for. But, you know what else you should be looking out for?
Some hot Arizona tea. Actually, it's not hot. It's pretty cool.
We warmed this up.
99 cents, baby. It's a kiwi strawberry.
It hasn't gone down like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like still 99 cents.
It says 99 cents, but you go to like a convenience store, it's like $1.25.
Is it really?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They never change it. It's misleading.
That doesn't make any sense. Well, that's true. If you go to like a comic store and you're like, hey, that comic says 25 cents. No. That's weird, though. That is weird. You know what's not weird? Hanging out with us on Whatnot. Yeah. If it's your first time ever to Whatnot, we also give you a $15 off code, which is listed down right below if you're a first-time buyer. And you get to hang out at 3 p.m. on Saturdays with Adam and Zach, the Gains crew with the wall of gains and slab giveaways. Second best show on Whatnot.
No, arguably the first best show on Whatnot, and the most humble and charismatic.
And then right after that is the Princess's solo show, where she does all the talking. It's all her books for sale, and she has a special Wheel of Gains where she takes care of all her customers the best that she can.
Yes, sensually.
But let's get back into comics. Even though that was about comics, let's get back into what we came here today to talk about. Second prints. And first of all, you got to ask yourself, what is a second print? What is it? Yeah.
What are the midichlorians?
Right? Yeah. So second print is when a book is obviously comes out and is super successful. And the publisher thinks like, hey, I could make more money on this because they only printed so many and they sell out really quick. So it's super popular, and they're like, hey, let's print another run. And a lot of times, they'll put this, like, printing out to the buyers. They'll be like, how many more do you guys want me to print? And, they get a list, like, hey, print this many more. I got this many more customers that want it, and they make another printing of that. Yes, and, absolutely. That's kind of how it goes. And most of the time, at least, now today, there's pretty good indicators of what a second printing is, like, on a book. So, it's pretty easy to tell. I can tell you back in the day, it's not the best indicators, and there is some that are even really hard to tell. So, just a couple things to look at for like indicators on a second print. You got the good old barcode on there.
We got here Venom 3 right here, as you can see, at the very end to the right. In some cases, it's in the middle of the three numbers, but this one's on the right. And it will tell you which printing is. And in this case, it says 2, so that's the second print.
This one's a little bit newer books. It also says second print next to it. Next to the barcode. But definitely something to look out for. Some books don't have that second print label, so you got to look at that number 2, give you a good idea. The final number tells you the printing.
Yeah. Barcode-wise.
The coloring of the book is a good indicator, and they even still use this today. But it actually started a lot of times back in the 80s and 90s, they started changing the coloring. So we got a first print and a second print of First Bishop.
Yeah.
You can see the clear difference of the background color. So there's your first print, and there's your second print.
There's second print. Yes.
And those ones don't have a barcode, so you can't really tell.
Yeah.
And if you were to open those up, which we won't do, there's also going to say inside flap will say second printing. And a lot of older books will also show like second printing as well. Like Aliens and stuff like that will be like inside the flap or on the back flap. A lot of like independent books say like inside the flap. A little bit harder to tell.
Right. Or on the back cover in some cases. So this one doesn't have the number 2 or says it anywhere on here. Doesn't even give a number. So you would have to open this book up right here.
What book is it?
This is a Robin number 1, second print. And this one can be identified by the newsstand. Well, the rare one's the newsstand, and it says the adventures begin. So sometimes there's other indications that it's a second print.
It's a job stealer.
It's job stealer. Yeah. Okay.
I was like,
excuse me, I got excited.
You're like, let me show the book. We don't.
Yeah, it's like I don't open it. But yeah, there's a couple indications. There's some books out there that, for example, like that is a good indication that it's a second print if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah. This is it's also a good exercise. Some of these books are pretty rare, so if you see these show up anywhere and you know the right indicators, and sometimes you can get it for a good deal. So that's another good reason to know a lot of different things about second print books. So we got the age-old, now that you know what second print books are, we got the age-old question for you. Is it a good idea to buy second prints? And Zach, how do you feel about just overall second prints?
Overall, 90% of them are not worth your time getting, but that rare 10% that are actually worth getting.
Okay, so like Zach said, there's 3 good reasons to pick up a second print book, because most of the time it's not a good idea to pick them up. So first reason, low print run. Mm-hmm. So a lot of books have not a lot of them, but some books have a low print run that are second print. So what are a couple good examples we have here, Zach, a low print run?
This is a very good example right here. I'll let Princess show that, and it actually has the 3 kind of like indicators of the second print. Like we talked about color.
Yeah, all of them. Barcode, color, and inside flap. This one's going to be all big. Captain America 25, second print.
And this is on the cover.
This is limited to 1,400 copies. So super, super rare. This would be an indication where it's actually worth more than the first print because of the scarcity of the book. So you want to keep an eye out for that one. Good one on that one, the blue bottom is a really good indicator on that. Another good reason is... first cover appearance of a character. So a lot of times there'll be first appearance of a character and the book will get super, super hot. And then what they'll do is they'll reprint it with a different cover, and they'll actually put that really exciting character on.
Taskmaster number 3.
Yeah. So this is first appearance of Tamagaki. And on the cover, on the original one, he's not on the cover. But the second print, they switched him and put him on the cover. So a lot of times when you see that, when you're like ordering new books, you're checking things out, if it's a second print and the new character's on the cover and he wasn't on the first cover,
right? Sometimes
it's a good idea to pick it up. Not always. Like this book isn't super expensive, but it's kind of close to value of the first printing. So
absolutely,
definitely something to look out for. And then the last thing would be like great artwork or superior artwork to the first printing. And this is kind of rare. Sometimes like they like the second printing, they'll get like not a better artist, but does something. J. Scott Campbell does this a lot, where he'll do a second printing. It'll be worth more than the first printing. One we have example here, Venom First Host. We showed this book earlier, but the second print Walmart cover is actually a bit nicer than the cover A, and it does have a lower print run, which also garnishes it more value as well. But that's kind of another reason. Not always the case with that, but
right.
You can find a really, really good. There's a bunch of Conan books where J. Scott Campbell does the second print, where they're much more valuable than the first one. But those are the 3 main reasons why you'd want to be looking at a second print. But it's always a good idea if you're a collector and you're trying to get those gains, which is what we all like to do. We all like to get good deals. It's a good idea to study some of these second print books and try to figure out which ones have more value, and hopefully not everybody knows about it. Then you can get those gains, right, Zach?
Yeah, exactly. That's the name of the game.
Yeah. So, just wrap this show up. Zach, any final thoughts on second prints?
Oh.
You have a book to show? There is, if you get them graded by CGC, they do show a second printing on it.
Very cool. Yeah, I like this one because this one has very low print run, too. My favorite color is red. So you got the green-red kind of situation.
People keep saying they buy books based on their cover. This is limited to 2,090.
2,000. Okay.
2,090 print run.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I really like that. And there's a couple other ones. We didn't talk about this. Some of the DC ones, they actually have Roman numerals in there, and that's something to keep an eye out for, always. With the DC ones.
Yeah.
Some of them are really hard to find and command a very high value.
I think they did on the 90s ones with the Roman numerals, right?
Yes,
yeah.
And the Roman numerals, just DC though. Marvel didn't get fancy like that.
Yeah. And just another thing to look out for, which show's only on second prints, but there's some books have a lot more printings. And depending on which ones, a lot of times the last print can be the most rare.
That's
the one they printed the last. So just keep that in mind as well. Just a good idea to know all your printings. Yeah, there's some really hard, like what, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac? Too many to count?
Too many to count. It's crazy. That book was so popular.
The Killing Joke? Too many to count?
Yeah. A lot.
So, that's going to wrap up the show for today, guys. As usual, if you like and love the show, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you always know when new things are going down. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about second printings. If you think they should be more valuable if they have a lower print run, or if you think they're just plain reprints and you don't care about them. But, And don't forget to hang out with us tonight on Whatnot at 3 p.m. We'll be on tonight if you saw this video live. Not live. At 2. Right. And Zach, you got anything else?
Yeah, sure. How you do that is you have to buy a printing shop, high-end printing shop that you can print on any type of paper. So you get paper from the 1930s, right, in a comic book form, and you just print a bunch of Action Comics #1, of course. Why not? There's no other book that you should print, right? And you get the right staples, and then you put it in an oven at 100 and something degrees for 4 or 5 hours. Right? And then you take it out, add some dirt on it, and you sell it as a real copy. No, that's counterfeiting. You can't do that.
You're going to put it in the oven? I thought you were going to make a cake out of it.
Well, you put it in the oven, right? And it artificially ages the paper a little bit more.
You know a bit too much about this.
Don't call the cops, please. And that's how you get those counterfeiting gains.
All right, guys. Until we see you next time, stay safe and remember.
Don't get caught by the cops. Later, gainers.